That's fine. And then what I'll do is I'll clip the front end of it when we share it onto the Zoom
Okay.
or onto the YouTube.
Should I just share screen from?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so can I move this thing? Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I need to get that tab.
Right. Okay.
And then when I exit out, I can.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yep.
Because I cranked it really down.
This part of the
Okay. You're following me around for questions?
I was talking to Alex, but I could call you.
Morning.
Well, no, I have.
It is, but this would be a good one.
And then we'll just do the front end before we put it on.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I need to garbage bags? No, over that, I think this is here. I know.
myself so we can get the recording started. So I just put this together. This is going to basically just explain a couple of the different ads that you should focus on. And then I'll go into actually creating the ad and how to do that. So what is a campaign ad? Campaign ad is just, it's a social post or email to draw attention to your business, to get leads. So what do you need? You need a Facebook page, business page, and then you also need an ad that's already created. So this, I'm not going to show you how to create the ad in Designs, but you can do that. I mean, you might know how to do that already, but you just have to have one created already so that you can post it.
How are you making the ad?
In Designs.
It is in Design?
Yeah, in Designs, you can make it. They have a lot of templates, and then you just plug and play. I just created one to show, so pretty simple once you get the hang of it. So again, this, you know, the ad will be created in Designs, and there's tons of templates available. What?
The clear logo.
Oh, there is a file, I believe, in Google.
It's in-
Yeah, one.
Okay.
Yep. So there's a couple different types of ads, and then we'll just kind of filter through them. Some of them, you know, one of them is a COVID related that may or may not be relevant right now. But the first one is a sale ad. Generally, you're talking about, you know, something you have coming soon, just listed, just sold. Basically, it's a way for people to know that you're doing business. I would say probably the most successful ones are going to be your coming soons, because coming soon, you know, if it's in delayed status, people can't see that, you know, anywhere else except for an MLS, and they don't have access for the most part to that. So if you're promoting that and then you can link it to your delayed MLS listing, it gives them a reason to click on it because they can't get to it through Zillow or through Realtor or any other site. So I would say that's probably the most effective ad to run. The other ones would be more, you know, just like proof of, like it says, proof of production. The second type of ad is a CMA ad. So this, you know, basically you're trying to look for sellers, but who might also be buyers. I would say ads looking for sellers are pretty tough right now, because I've run a bunch of ads and I've tried this, and it's just hard to get quality leads. I mean, you're lucky if you get a couple, and then most of the time they're probably fake anyways. But the key is, like, when you run an ad, there'll be a number of impressions that it'll count for how many times it shows up on people's, you know, scroll. And then from there, people will click. And then from there, if they click, then they can put their info in to get to the page that you want them to go to. The general key, so let's say you have 1,000 impressions, you're trying to go for 10%, 10%. So 1,000 impressions should get you 100 clicks, should get you 10 leads. That's the formula that they try to use. So CMA, of course, is basically just, you know, doing an evaluation for a seller. The next type of ad is, we'll call it a FOMO ad, basically just capitalizing on humans' need to know things. You know, just tell a story, just special events, giveaways, something that will draw them to this. It's good for video ads. People like videos. I mean, Instagram is all videos, you know, people just scroll up and just want to see these reels. So
actually, they said there's a stat about that. They said that Facebook likes videos like 10 to 1.
yeah,
So if you're going to post anything, make it a video.
yeah,
You're going to get a ton more engagement. So
right,
it might seem crazy, but like we're doing it like when we can. We're not
Yeah.
doing them, but
Right.
better to do them than not.
right. And even if it's a picture, if you can somehow get it to animate a little bit, it'll technically be a video. What I do is I have, there's tons of apps, but you just plug a picture in. You can even do it on Snapchat. You put a picture in and you put a little like animation like from their like drop downs, and then you just save it, and then it's in your phone file, and then you'd have to email it to yourself or just do it straight from your phone. Next one is a review ad. So basically you're getting reviews from your past clients, and just again, just building the rapport with anybody. This I would say is more so for your maybe your personal page or your business page, but not necessarily a campaign ad that you pay money to, you know, market to everybody in the area. I would just post it on my like a social post type thing. And you know, the more reviews you have, the better. And then finally is the COVID ad. Like again, this I created probably at the beginning of COVID. Just kind of tells how you stand out, how you what you do in your experience with COVID. For example, you know, you help somebody during COVID, or you make extra precautions during COVID so that everybody is safe, that kind of thing. Again, right now, it's not necessarily a, I mean, it is still a relevant topic, but as you've noticed, you know, a lot of it's eased up a lot as far as like showings, you know, not everybody requires a mask anymore, this and that. So this one is kind of a hit or miss type one. So those are the 5 types of ads. So now we'll jump into basically how to do it. So let me get, okay. So when you're in Command, like I said, the key thing is you're going to want to have set up is your business Facebook page and the ad already created. So if you go into the designs portion of it, this is where you'll create your ad. You'll hit create design, social, continue, and there is a way to download or link it to an already existing listing, but my experience is that I try to do it for my delayed listings, and those won't be in here yet because Command only pulls up what's already listed. But so you can pick from, you know, any of these topics here. So I did, so let me just back up to mine because I already, oops, I already did one. Yep, you know where to find that in MLS. I'll show you. So I'm actually going to do one. I have open houses coming up this weekend, so I prepped this for an ad already. So this is what I created. Let me get, I hate seeing my face on there. So this is all the info for my open house. I got the picture off of my listings that I wanted to use for it. So once I have this saved, you don't have to download it, but I like to download it because sometimes there's a little glitch. Hopefully it won't. So I'll just download it as a JPEG. And exit out of here, done. So then we'll go into the campaign itself. So the little horn is the campaign. And at the top is your dashboard. So you can do paid ad, emails, direct mail, social posts, and they're all very useful. But right now we're going to focus on the paid ads. So I've run a bunch in the past. I do have one active right now. I've run it for 10 days. It's going to end on Saturday. But this was, let's see if I can. So this is the ad that I have running right now. It's a picture that I took, so it's not, you know, professional, but You know, it was just because I wanted to get something on right away. But now we'll do one with a professional picture. But here you can see like I've had 1,100 impressions, 80 clicks, so I'm below the 10% and then still below the 10% as far as the leads I've gotten. So what we'll do here is we want to create a campaign. So up at the top right, just hit create campaign. We're going to do a paid social ad. And our goal, so you have to enter a campaign name. So this is going to be Open House 137th Street. And I do have one already named that, so I'm just going to change this to weekend. So you can pick what your goal is, advertise a listing. I think I'm going to do, and they're all relatively the same, but like advertise a listing, it's going to prompt you for that listing right away. So you can try to search it to pull all the information out, but I know it's not in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do other, and then it'll ask you where you want your campaign to run. So I always hit Facebook because Facebook is the only place where you can get their information. You could run it on Instagram too, but Instagram doesn't have a form that feeds into command for your leads. So I only do Facebook, and a majority of the people, like the demographic that you're looking for, they're Facebook heavy. It's usually like the very young millennials that are using the Instagram, and you know that's not really your demographic that you're searching for. So
And then if you click all three, is it still $30 or whatever? Or is it 30 for each?
it'll separate the 30 to all three, so it'll be like 10, 10, and 10. So I rather just put it all in Facebook and create the campaign. So now, so here, if your listing was live, you could just add the listing and then it'll pull up all the words, the pictures but my listing is not live yet. So, and then you just go step by step down the line here. So text, so what are you gonna write? Oops. There we go, text. So what you put in here is gonna show up in the main top portion of the ad. I didn't really think about this, but and then also you can use emojis too. So right here in the corner, they say you should add a couple emojis just because people like to see that, they interact more with that. So you know, open house this weekend in Brookfield, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, Cape Cod, with plenty space to enjoy. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes. No, business page. Yep. So that's where it has to be connected to a business page. You can always share it to your personal page. But the thing is, like when you create it through here, it doesn't show up on your personal business page itself. It's just an ad that you have to like scroll through. You know, you got to scroll on your Facebook, and then when you see it, then you can share it. But it won't just show up as a separate post in your business page. So you can replicate it if you want it on your regular business and then share it from there, or you can just try to find it, you know, as you're looking through, and then when you see it, you just share it from there too. So then I'll put another emoji in here. So let's say, and you always, you want to give them direction to click on the tab, like this learn more tab over here. You want to tell them to do that. So click on the learn more tab, more information. And then you can put, you know, you can put some details about it. I don't give them everything because then they don't need to go look at it. For more information and pictures, let's say. Because I did get that. Oh, and here what I'll do is so see, that's what I don't like about this. Okay.
feel like when I log into my personal, it's like a link up and then I have a business, you know, my business.
Right. Yeah, no, it's all together, so your pages here and then your business, they'll say your pages. and
Yeah.
Your page will be right there.
Right, but so how can I link commands to just go strictly to my business? How do I-
It should go to just your business.
It just should go through this and
Mhm.
then.
It wouldn't go to your,
Personal.
right.
Want to make sure.
Yep.
I am Joe.
Right, I haven't done it for so long, so I'm not sure, but yeah.
Okay, so that's all I'm gonna put, even though you have, I mean, you have 250 characters, so you don't wanna put too much because then it cuts it off here, you know, as you can see, and then they have to click the arrow down, so just keep it short and sweet. Headline, you know, open house this weekend in Brookfield. Oh, see, it's only 25, so
Do you provide anything at your open houses?
you mean like snacks and stuff?
Yeah.
No. But my last one I did a drawing for Bucks tickets, and you know, it gets people to actually put their real information.
Right?
And I tell them, hey, I'm doing a drawing for, you know, somebody's gonna get it, and then I just draw from people who don't have realtors. So, but I do, and then I contact all of them like, hey, either you won or you didn't win, but if you need help, I don't contact, if they have a realtor, I'm like, you have a realtor. I'm not gonna mess around. Yeah. Description here, for some reason they give you another 250 characters, but a lot of times this doesn't show up in the ad. So I just put something just in case it does, located near 138th Capitol. Is it Capitol with an OL? I think. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so that'll show up down below. Again, sometimes it's in there, sometimes it's not. So you don't have to put a whole lot of language in there. So that's good. So we save that. So that's your copy, you know, your words. Next up is media. So this is where you would get your already created ad. I don't like to put that. So select media. So here you can choose from a listing, add images or video. Let's see. I want. Okay, so if you hit add images, then browse designs library. So I just hit that, and then it should pop up my ad that I already created. I can just click that. Sometimes it's touchy and it won't take it. See how it just keeps spinning, and then it says something up here. So in that case, I just upload it, and I will find it from my saved files. Downloads. Obviously, I like the Bucks. I got a lot of Bucks. Did I save it? I thought I saved it. Okay, I did. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so now just gonna download it. I thought I downloaded it, but I guess not. So I downloaded, so here I'll just drag in. Come on. There we go. All right, so I'll just drag it in there. And then preview and crop. So ideally you would want it as a square, but because the format I chose, because the picture was rectangular, you can just go with the wide, and then it'll just go to the wide. Save it. All right, so there's your ad. You can add the DBA logo that they have, but I have it in my ad, so I just I just get that out of there. Hit save. So there's the ad. There's your copy. It's already in there. Next is Facebook settings. Here's where you connect it to. Here I connect it to my business page, which is already linked here. So then it shows up at the top as a sponsored ad. And then the button, I always put learn more because the other ones, nobody ever likes to sign up for anything or apply for anything. So learn more is the default one that I choose. And then this is where you'll put the website that you want them to go to after you have their information. So you want your listing URL. So basically, no, for the app itself or for the listing.
It can be under KW, but you can do the URL from that and it links back to your KW app where they can see it.
Oh, I mean, you could. Yeah, I just go straight to the MLS one. I click the permalink and then I'll copy that and then go back here and paste it. And then you'll get a check mark saying that it's basically a safe site or whatever, that little check mark. Or you could choose a landing page. So if you created a landing page for your listing, you could have it go there too. So, but I just picked that because that has all the details and everything. And so then you want to pick your audience. So my listing's in Brookfield, New Berlin is fine. You want to use custom settings. If you want to change it, you can target your database, which I wouldn't do. Target custom audience. So here, let's say I want to do New Berlin is fine. 20 mile radius is your is it 15 or 20? Okay, 15 is the minimum because you can't like get it to like a neighborhood anymore. So they do 15. So, but for this, you want it to go to as many as possible. And 20 mile radius from New Berlin is huge. And then what I always do is I'll do it by interests. So you hit that add interest and then it pulls up like all these like topics, and anybody who has any interest in any of these topics, it will target them instead of just going basically to anybody. So, somebody who looking at apartments, I'll target them, apartment.com, and then you just keep going down the line, whatever you feel is a good, bungalow, sure, audience. Let's see what other ones.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
If you do 5 of those, does it split all like all your stuff into those 5 categories, or like if you do 20, does it even water it down even more? Like, you know how that works, the algorithm?
I don't know, like if it only targets those, but it will like strategically do its job and
Okay.
focus on
I always
those.
wondered, I didn't know if it's better to have less or more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it really matters. I mean, this is just like, it'll probably still go to other people, but you might get better, you know,
Okay.
output by, there are some here that are pretty good. Like FHA insured loans, sure. Estate agent, you know, maybe, you know, and you want it to go to agents too. So they can show the house. Okay, here, first time buyer, first time agent, fixer upper, sure. For sale by owner, I would click that because, oops, who knows, maybe they like your ad and want to use you.
They're also.
I don't need these guys. Come on. There we go. So this is like the most tedious part of it, and the thing I don't like is that it doesn't save it. Like you can't just use the same one over and over again. You have to do this each time, which hopefully is something they'll fix. Let's see, interest rate, sure. Let's see, calculator. And then I'll just go to the end. So Zillow, and then for some reason realtor.com is at the end. I don't know why. And then, so you'll just hit save. And that'll be like your targeting audience. All right, so then you just hit save there. Lead settings. So this is pretty cool. This is newer. So whenever you get a lead, it can automatically tag them. So I have a tag set up for Facebook. So just Facebook lead. So when it'll just go directly into your command contacts and it'll tag them. And then you can also assign them a smart plan. So I have one called my Facebook ad follow-up campaign. And what that is, let me show you. So if you're familiar with smart plans, basically there are tons of smart plans in this library. And these are made from other agents, but you can just search ones. So I did search one for Facebook ads and I found this one. So what it does is, so as soon as they click your ad, put in their info, it sends them a text and it says, hi, whoever, you know, it autofills their name. Thanks for checking it out. And then this is Alex with Keller Williams, blah, blah, blah. It has my information and it texts them that right away. The thing to keep in mind is when you pick something off the library, make sure you go in and change the information in there, because I thought I did. And then like my very first ones, it was saying that my name was Chris, who had originally created the ad, but I had my other information because that's like what I was focusing on, but I didn't see like right here where it said this is Alex. So, and it kept it at Chris, but nobody called me out on it. So so it'll send them, so that's one, and then you can have a delay for the next day, and then the next day, if they don't text you back, it'll shoot out this email to them, whatever they put in that email, just saying, hey, I sent you a text yesterday, blah, 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 and then your information again. And you can keep this going as long as you want, as many steps as you want to add, but I just keep it at those two, just to keep it simple, because Facebook leads are, I mean, you're lucky to get 1 in 100 leads that will actually turn out to be anything. But you know, if it works one time, you know, how many ads has it paid for?
you have your first one, did you still mark for Facebook? Like, say you didn't have no leads on Facebook,
Mhm.
and did you still create like a little tag that says Facebook lead, and then automatically when you click on it, they became Facebook lead? Or you have to wait to like start getting one and then?
No, you can create a tag for anything. Yep, you don't already have to have them. You just go into the tag portion of contacts and just create a tag. So, yeah. So then so I have the assigned smart plan that it'll go to. So I just hit save. And then really you just pick your duration. So they always recommend $30 per channel. So for 10 days, $3 a day. But so I'll do and my open houses end on Saturday. So I'll do it through Saturday. So it's 3 days. And do I really want $10 a day for 3 days? No, I do let's do $5 a day. So $5 a day should accomplish what I want. Then I hit save. Did you hear that? This thing fell. So the other thing you'll want to keep in mind is that you'll have to already have your credit card hooked up in here to pay for it, because it'll charge you right away. And then make sure you proofread everything, because once you hit submit, if you make a mistake, then you have to cancel the ad, but you don't get a credit for it until the time frame runs out. And then so you'll have to create a second one, but pay for that one again. And then once the first one, once Saturday goes through, then it'll credit you. It won't credit you, it'll just be like a credit you can use for a future ad. So you just got to be
In-store credit, and that's it.
Yeah.
This week.
right. You do get an in-store credit. So I'll publish. So here I have my credit card hooked up to it. You can add new, whatever, create campaign. And the nice thing about doing it this way is you really can't, it'll review it, but it's set up to not fail. So even though it's pending, it'll start it says start tomorrow, but sometimes it starts later in the day. And then there you go. That's created, and you'll get I think you get an email saying that it's good to go when from command, because then it'll say they charged you the $30 or whatever, $15.
Also, there's like, you have a post on your business page and you boost it.
Mm-hmm. So the nice thing with this too, it does show up in there as well. I'll go to my business page, for example. Okay, so on the left here, so they changed a lot of things around in here recently.
Shut down yesterday.
Yeah, right. You should be able to. Okay. Well, there was a section on the left where it had your business center. Is there one? I don't know where it is now. Huh, that's weird. Well, that's silly. Oh, I gotta switch. So I gotta switch my profile, I guess. That's what it was. All right, so on the left here, so when you get a lead, that's my page. All right, I guess it doesn't do it, even if you are. On the left here, it had a tag business center. When you get a lead, it would also show up in there. And then, but how is it different? If you put it in here, command won't track, it doesn't track like your analytics here. So it doesn't tell you like how many impressions you had, how many clicks it got, how many leads you got. The leads will just show up, but that's the main difference. I have gotten a couple of emails saying you get a $20 credit if you do it straight from Facebook. So it's worth it to do maybe one or two. But you know, it's just how you want to keep track of it. I mean, I would do both ways, you know, if you want, because from here, when you create it, it'll show up in your feed. And then from here, you can share it to your personal page where, like I was saying before, the ad is just an ad and you'll have to actually come across it to share it to your personal page.
That social media class that we took that was online, that big one Friday where that we did. The guy was very specific by saying, you know, whatever you're running ad, if you're not getting what you want out of it within the first day, like you're not pulling what you want to be, cancel it.
Yeah.
Like be quick to cancel and redo the ad somehow, either add video or do something that draws more people.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to say I'm going to spend $60 on this campaign, let it run all the way through, you get 2 leads.
Right. Yeah, and I've done that where it's like I have. Let's see if I can find one.
Yeah, video or animation, yeah, for sure. Yeah, 10-1.
Yeah, like this one here. See, this is highest market value. So this was like a CMA type thing. I was running it for 20 days, and like the first couple of days, I didn't. You know, I got 1 lead out of 2,000 impressions. I was like, okay, I'm going to cancel this one and I'll figure something else out. So these ones with like 1, 2 leads, 0 leads, you know, those were all value or you know, these were all like targeting sellers, and it just doesn't work. The ones that work are the buyer ones. So let me see if I can find. Yeah.
So out of the 28, how many were real people? Is it like half?
I mean,
Yeah.
it just depends. Like, you know, I had them set up on the smart plan, and like I had one where it's like, oh, I was just looking, you know, that actually responded. So unless you actually physically call them, that's up to you. But I didn't physically call anybody. So so here's one. Like this one was my best one, like 99 leads.
Wow.
6,000 impressions, and this was a coming soon. So this was in delayed status. This was, I think the listing was $115,000 or $110,000 house. So it could have been the price point that was very attractive. I mean, the pictures were awesome. It was a very like Art Deco type, you know, retro. You know, it had floor to ceiling windows. I mean, it was a really nice, it was just before the craziness started last year. So yeah, and it just all depends. It was on like 87th and near Burleigh or something like that. So it was over there by Cooper Park. Yeah, it was a 53222. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and the only thing with this one is it had fuse box versus circuits, but that was an easy fix, and you know, it sold for like 15 over. But like now, that house probably like 150,000 at least, you know,
Right.
and who knows, maybe more. So it's timing. But anyway, so that's that. I mean, do you guys have any questions as far as like how to do something or like the steps of it? I know it's kind of quick here, but you just got to have some things in line before you can actually get to it. Yeah, yeah, and you know, that just takes some time and like playing around, but those templates are really good. You just plug and play and just change the print to whatever whatever you want to do there. Yep. Yep, for social, yeah, I think they focus on social because there are some print, you know, options, but they don't have like Halloween things for the print yet, which yep, okay, which we kind of covered today, you know.
I'm definitely gonna do Pi Day for sure. I know Scott said he's gonna do his whole fourth quarter's all on Pi Day.
Mhm. Yeah, that's huge. Like last year, I made postcards for Pi Day and I just sent them out to all my sphere, whoever I had in for your friend, from your friends, like those addresses. I just made labels and sent them out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then I also did a email campaign for it because I have some clients who aren't on Facebook, and who knows with the mail if they got it or they saw it. So I emailed them too, and had a decent turnout. Yeah, the Pi Day it was cold and raining, but it was good turnout.
For a free pie.
Yeah.
But the rest-
Right, and then the extra ones that I had, I walked around my block and I just rang the door. Hey, I have these pies, you know, and it had my sticker logo on it and everything. So, and then whatever I couldn't give, I just donated to the
And they're big
Waukesha.
pies. They're like
Yeah,
this
huge. They're huge. Then they're heavy. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing because I think we're done.
So how many cards did you send out regarding Pi Day and how many people